Tour de France comes to London on Monday, and it's thought as one of the world's toughest races, but it's got nothing on the Race Across America, a coast-to-coast competition which covers 3,000 miles in almost half the time it takes the world's best to do the 2,000 in the Tour. On the start line this year was Susanna Pillinger from St Albans, aiming to become the first British woman to complete the race.
She's an ultra-endurance triathlete normally. Just recently got into ultra-cycling and has had a stellar career so far. Can she extend it with a RAAM win? We got 10 seconds till we start finding out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, Susanna.
That was Susanna at the start, and I'm delighted to say she joins me now in the studio. Before we talk about why you got that sling on, just tell me, why did you decide to do this race in the first place?
Well, Race Across America is seen as the pinnacle of ultra-cycling. It's also a race that I discovered no British woman had yet completed within a time limit. So it's 3,000 miles across America, west coast to east coast, and it's a race as a time trial. So it means the clock starts on the west coast and it doesn't stop until you reach the east coast. The time limit for women to finish that is 12 days and 21 hours. 309 hours of cycling. Within that time you can fit in your own sleep strategy. You obviously have to eat, drink, everything else during that time. So you have a crew supporting you to help you do that. And this race had caught my imagination when I discovered that it hadn't been done by a British woman.
So we saw you on the start line, you then got going. Talk us through the perception to the reality of being in the race itself.
That race line at the start line seems like a million years ago. From that moment, I had to cycle through the heat of the desert, the Mojave Desert, over the Rocky Mountains, going over the Continental Divide, which is at 3,300 metres of altitude.
Some pictures here, I mean, it looks like a very lonely race.
It does from those pictures. I mean, there are a lot of very, very long straight roads in America, as I discovered. But what you don't see in those pictures is I have a support crew of 9 people who are rotating around 3 vehicles. And I have one vehicle that's pretty much permanently following behind me the whole time. Except sometimes in daylight they're able to leapfrog ahead of me. So I'm not alone. I have radio communication with those people the whole time.
And then it all went wrong.
It did go slightly wrong, yes. The solo race of Race Across America is it's the blood and guts of RAAM, and people risk life and limb and altitude sickness and heat exhaustion and severe sleep deprivation to complete this race. Unfortunately, I succumbed to sleep deprivation, and on one of those long straight roads in a sunny afternoon, maybe about 30 degrees, I started to wobble a little along the road and unfortunately left the pavement. And when I opened my eyes, I tried to get back onto the road and unfortunately flipped the bike, and the result is a broken collarbone.
Are you going to do it again? Very briefly.
Of course.
Susanna, thank you very much for coming in to talk to me, and I hope you're doing better now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, if you were able to send